Hey, YouTube. Good morning. I'm calling a scam alert. Scam alert. Beware of Juanita Bynum. Miss Bynum, I just saw uh, an interview with John Moore and his wife, and I could look at those people and tell they were not lying, not exaggerating, not spinning anything. It's telling the truth. You went to this people's town, you 60-year-old woman, seeing these young pastors, or certainly he's a pastor, Mr. and Mrs. Go to that conference. These people had put in, I guess, months of preparation for this event, for this conference. People starting out, let's say, I don't know how long, they said they've been in ministry for 8 years, but they're not no superpower ministry. They're trying to do bigger things, whatever. But this woman that went and scammed these people out of, it sounds like $3,000 up front or $3,500 down. These numbers are not going to be perfect. $3,500. Then they gave her the other $3,500. So they gave her $7,000 in cash, allegedly. Basically, $7,000 in cash. They paid for 4 hotel rooms at the Hilton Hotel, which are not just rooms. Hers certainly is a suite of rooms. They have paid for limousines and all the stuff that Juanita Bynum requires before she can go and talk for her 20, 30 minutes, whatever. They pay for all this stuff, and this woman has the nerve, the audacity to come to these people's town and take their money. They need to be in court. They need to sue her ass. Because any court is going to say, well, wait a minute. Hold the hell on, honey. You're telling me that you're under contract with these people to perform, or as you call, preach. And you mean to tell me that because this man saw your underwear, you have reneged on the contract? This is, let me try not to use my best language since I'm talking to church people. This is BS. And forgive me, I might slip off. I'm trying my best. This is BS. This woman was not prepared to preach. She must be looking for excuses. Maybe she was tired. Maybe she didn't really want to do it. Looking for any silly excuse to not honor her commitment. Now, when I saw this guy last night, what was his name? Ryan Chandler, who's told of a similar experience he had with this woman and how it cost him multiple thousands and thousands of dollars. And she had walked away from him as well. So if those two have come forward in one day, then there are probably other victims. Juanita Bynum, you're supposed to be a woman of the Most High God. That's what you claim. And you're out here acting like some damn scam artist. Give them people their money back. Give that ministry their money back. They didn't raise any money. They gave all the people that. See, she don't care. That is demonic. To go in here and ruin this man's reputation, or attempt to ruin this man's reputation, certainly scar it, put a blemish on his reputation. To have him return all the money to the people who already paid for it, which is how he was able to pay you in advance, knowing that the money was coming in from the tickets. So now you've been paid, they've been paid their money back, and this man is stuck. What it sounds like to me, he's out about $20,000 at a minimum, and got nothing for it. You're supposed to be a woman of God, a 60-year-old woman. You really want us to believe that this young couple, this young man, is stalking some 60-year-old woman so he can see her draws? Juanita Bynum, like they say, you can take the girl out the project, but it's real hard to get that project out the girl. This is a petty ass scam. You should feel, as a woman of God, pastor, you should feel some sort of remorse, some sense of regret that these people are being sent through this mess that you created and then disappeared and didn't even bother to preach. That should bother you. It should bother you that this man is out all this money, but it doesn't bother a sociopath, a criminal. It doesn't bother you. You don't have the capacity to feel for others. Now, people have been trying to bring you back into the spotlight, Juanita Bynum. Just like a lot of them turned on you when you had the falling out with TD Jakes after the No More Sheets thing. We thought No More Sheets sermon was great. I thought it was great. It's the only way I know about you. And I haven't heard, it, frankly, anything since then that has impressed me. But you fell out with TD Jakes. Y'all didn't talk for years, right? We don't know the details of that. It doesn't make any difference. It's, apparently, the problem is you. The problem is you. You should feel as a pastor or prophetess. What is it? A three doctorate holding woman? Is that what you call it? I don't really feel comfortable calling you doctor. As a person of integrity, it should bother you to see this man have to come online and explain that he's not a pervert and a panty sniffer. Ain't nobody sniffing no 60-year-old woman's drawers, honey. That is bullshit. You even accuse this man. Oh, maybe there's cameras in the room. Bitch, I told you I'm trying to use my best language. Couldn't you just check the room to see if you could find a camera? And if you didn't feel confident that you were able to find that, or none of your staff was able to find it, wouldn't it be simpler to just switch the room? I can't sleep here. I feel violated. Give me another room. You could have called the man up. Listen, here's what happened. Here's what I'm used to. And I'm having a hard time. But none of this should have involved you not fulfilling your obligation to come there and preach. If you were not prepared to preach, because that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like to me you were not prepared and you really didn't want to be there. They said you started your complaining and nagging at the airport. Everything's got to be, I got to have a certain color car. I got to do the, JUANITA BYNUM. Stop at all this uli stuff. You are not no holy messenger or nothing like that. You're a woman with the gift of gab. Basic, that's what it is. A woman with the gift of gab. Now, you're a woman without integrity. I don't know how you thought you can go on Facebook Live. What about this man and his family? I mean, that's what bothers me the most. You give two shit. It is hard not to cuss when you could care less about soiling this man's reputation. This man has a family. Just so you can get out of preaching. You know that ain't no reason for you. If he saw your drawers, why don't you just throw the drawers away and go downstairs and buy some new ones then? They would have never been seen. Like your drawers is so important. Girl, you need to get them people their money back. You need to call them people up. You need to explain to the congregation what the situation was. You need to apologize. Not only to that church, you need to apologize to all of us. Apologize to black people. Apologize to women. Apologize to pastors. You need to apologize to everybody for putting this cheap scam. This is why you're not going to get back up there. This is not, people do not, it is the absence of character. Your character stinks. So what? Maybe you did walk away with $20,000. Maybe you did get you a fast, let me tell you a story. I got to talk about what I know about, right? About humans, about people. You ain't got to be a pastor to know about people, right? I'm a reformed criminal. I used to be in the streets, right? I remember this time, this one associate of mine had hit some kind of lick. I don't know. I never asked him the details. I didn't want to know. But he had all this jewelry. I don't know if he robbed somebody's hotel room. We were drug addicts. He robbed somebody's hotel room or he did something. He got all this money, all this jewelry, right? So I said, I had to go pick him up because he's stuck somewhere hiding out and whatever. I hope there's no statute of limitations and all this stuff. Years ago. So I said, oh, can I get that watch or something like this, right? He said, oh, this is about the next day. 2 days later. For my time, I had to go and pick the person up, hide him out. He said, oh, no, you don't want that. I said, what you mean I don't want it? I do, but I like it. I like the way it looks. Oh, no, it's Benghazi. What is what? Who? I know this is real stuff, right? He said, no, that one's not real. That one's not real. This man has had this jewelry he's acquired from somewhere. And I know it ain't right, but I'm putting it, using this example. I'm trying to speak from a place where I have personal experience. I said, what do you mean? This is the lick. I can tell most of this stuff is real, but some of it's not. I mixed it in. This man could not help himself. He had to scam the people. He took the real jewelry and bought a bunch of BS jewelry off the street, mixed it in with the other to make it all look real. I said, why would you do that? This stuff here was already worth some money. I would have bought it all from you. He could not help himself. He had to get over. It's the spirit of get over. That's what I've been sensing in you, Juanita Bynum. I don't know who in the hell is going to be taking a chance on bringing you into a conference when they know that there's a good chance they can be ripped off. There's a good chance that they will take their congregation's money, tickets they've sold. They will take that money, you will take that money and not appear. Fly off into the sunset with the church's money. Taken off with the church's money. I don't know how you feel like making this thing public is going to help you. For me, it is the opposite effect. For me, most people are going to make the judgment after the smoke is cleared that you dogged these people out. You didn't care. And if you would do it to them, you would do it to me. Ain't no way in hell I'm taking a chance, rolling the dice to see if you will show up. These people, she even forces them to give her a deposit, half the money up front. So basically, Juanita Bynum has already got her money. And that's what she cared about. She didn't have to perform. She didn't have to preach. She didn't have to do nothing. Right? It would seem to me, be quiet, boy. It seems to me that you should care more about the audience. You're there to preach the word of God. Does this sound godly to you, people? Anybody? This woman is a scam artist. Now, I got to watch how I talk because, I'm a cease and desist. Girl, you're a scam artist. Be honest. And what you're doing is you're exposing to every other preacher on this planet, certainly in this country, that you cannot be trusted. You are not a woman of integrity. If you go into a hotel room and you see a cockroach roller coaster room, oh no, pack the bags, we're going. You won't even honor your contracts. Ma'am, we can move you to another room. Oh no, my eyes have already seen the sin. Knock it off, Juanita. You should be ashamed of yourself, and you should get these people back their money. They probably figuring that we can demand our money back. We can take her to court, but by the time we get through a court, we're going to spend more in court than we lost from the first $20,000 or $30,000. It's cheaper to let it go. Call this congregation up. Tell them you're redoing the for free. Do something to redeem yourself, Juanita Bynum. You are dead wrong in this, and you are a scammer. You can't help yourself. Can't help yourself, you're going to continue to have problems. Went out there buying all these mansions and all this. Remember how you got in trouble the first time? You start out with all of these big castles and all of these Rolls Royces and Jaguars and Ferraris and all this stuff. You're like you were bigger than Ross. Then you start doing all this, what do you call that stuff when you make yourself all dolled up? Photoshop pictures and all this. Just become a superstar. Right? That showed us your character. You lost all that behind your petty shenanigans. Bogus ass wedding. That wedding was doomed from the beginning. You're not the kind of person a person can be married to, not successfully. You're crazy. You are crazy. You're gifted. You are gifted. You have no gift of gab. Perhaps you somewhat learned, but in this example right here, you are a scammer. And you should be ashamed of yourself, woman. That is not the actions of a pastor. That is embarrassment to us all.